Brexit has made life better or harder for working class people in the UK?
Brexit is about self-government. Self-government is about democracy and sovereignty, and Brexit is about giving people the right to make their own decisions as to what their own laws are to be across a very, very wide range of activity, about everything that moves. And therefore, in itself, it is incredibly important. And the interesting thing is that in the Council of Ministers, which is where the laws were made by the European Union.
Well, Council of Ministers is the heads of state of the ministers of various governments.
There are different ministers for different series of Council of Minister meetings.
Yeah, and the Parliament the Parliament ultimately passes all the laws.
No, that's not true.
All the laws, all the actual substantive laws they have to be approved by Parliament.
Yeah, look, the reality is the decisions are ultimately taken by the Council of Ministers
but they have to be made,
application.
But at the end, it has to go through the Parliament, which is made of directly elected members of the European Parliament, elected proportionally. But my question was, has it actually made life better, economically, financially? People are going through a cost of living crisis.
No, they're going through a cost of living crisis, not because of Brexit, but because of COVID.
Yeah, because
if you've got to repay £400 billion, and
yes,
you've actually engaged that, and the people have benefited from that, that is a question relating to the extent to which you have a degree of inflation.
No one issue is ever going to be the sole factor in somebody's quality of life. I'm asking about Brexit specifically.
Yes, I am.
Has Brexit made things better or worse?
Brexit is about self-government, it's about democracy.
Economically speaking.
And the responsibility lies with the people through their elected government.
Since you're not answering that question.
I am answering the question.
You haven't
already done so.
In economic terms, your OBR, the Office of Budgetary Responsibility, so essentially your economic brain has said that Brexit has caused more damage long-term to our economy than COVID.
No, I'm afraid that is just simply wrong.
Why?
Well,
on what basis?
Because the decisions were taken on the basis of the amount of money that was made available through furlough, the cost of the vaccines, all these other things.
At no point have you given a counter-argument to the principle that it's made life better.
I have given a very good counter-argument, and I'm very happy.
But you haven't made an economic argument for Brexit, though.
I certainly have. Because
you've talked about sovereignty, you've talked about democracy, you've talked about where laws are made. Yeah, but when I give you actual economic advice, so for example, the Federation of Small Businesses, so representing UK businesses, a quarter of them small businesses stop selling with the EU because of Brexit.
The reality is that these are decisions which are being taken by government in relation to
businesses,
by international trading opportunities which are being
by UK British businesses that are suffering because of your policies.
No, that's not the case. Anyway,
but they're saying it's the case.
Spoken to you.
Thank you. Cheers.
Thank you very much.